Our next speaker, Emerson Archuleta, embodies resilience and self-acceptance. Emerson's journey with vision loss began at the age of 10, and while the transition was challenging, it ultimately shaped a powerful story of perseverance. From struggling with feelings of isolation to navigating a world not always built for people with disabilities. Emerson faced moments of doubts, exclusion, and hardship. But through it all, Emerson found strength, not just in overcoming obstacles, but in embracing blindness as an integral part of who Emerson is. Please welcome Emerson Archuleta with Embracing Resilience.
Good girl. Sit. I received my first pair of glasses when I was 2 years old. Growing up, I was only ever used to viewing the world through sight. By 10, however, I had begun to lose my vision, with no clear explanation for why. It was an extremely hard adjustment. Now, at 16 years old, I have lost more vision, making me almost completely blind. Despite being blind for 6 years now, I still struggle with the intense emotions of grief that come with losing my vision and with adapting to a world not made for people with disabilities. This is how I see. There are other aspects of my vision that I was unable to capture when I made this visual, such as my night blindness, no depth perception, pinhole vision, random shapes around lights, halos around lights, and my vision fading. Before I had lost more of my remaining sight, going out was difficult. Not that I couldn't do it, but because I was scared to go into a world for what I believed at the time was a world that required sight. When I began to venture into the world and participate in social settings, it was a bittersweet experience. Although I was finally feeling comfortable going out, I realized a harsh reality I didn't face when I had sight. It's how judgmental and cruel people can be towards individuals with a disability like myself. This experience was at a STEM camp for high school girls interested in engineering. It was my second year attending. The first year was tough for me as I didn't know anyone and was away from home. Looking back at the first year, I wish that there would have been something to make me feel more welcome in an environment that I'm not used to. So, I decided that I was going to make cards for every girl in my class to make all the girls feel welcomed into another year at camp. Inside those cards were a kind message, stickers, and Braille on the inside of the card and the envelope with a translation. I read Braille. Adding it was my special touch. I spent 2 or 3 days working on those cards. While making them, my Perkins Brailler stopped working, so I had to Braille it by hand using a slate and stylus, a tedious tool. I was proud of my work, and I thought that the girls at the camp would appreciate the cards. Some of them did, and some of them were very rude about it. It was because of the Braille, something that made it different. Little did I know, that day, the day where all my hard work on making the cards and having a negative reaction from some, would only be the start of one of the hardest weeks I've ever endured. One of the days while I was there was a group of girls walking in front of me. They were talking about the cards. At that time, I used a white cane, which can be loud, so I lifted it from the ground to get a better listen to what they were saying. They talked about how stupid the cards were, because of the Braille, that a blind girl made them, along with cruel comments, and they left. Now, it wouldn't have bothered me that much if I hadn't spent days working on those cards, especially considering how proud I was of my work and the ability to represent a part of me by adding Braille. After hearing them going on and on about the cards, I had enough, so I set my cane back down on the ground. When I put my cane on the ground, they looked back and went quiet. They knew that they shouldn't have been saying that in my presence, which only made me feel worse, because I knew that the other girls were most likely having similar conversations about the cards I wasn't hearing. Knowing what they thought about the cards and hearing the conversation, I decided not to say anything. I knew that they were closed-minded and that a conversation would only start conflict and leave me more hurt and upset than I already was. During that day, I wish I never made the cards. It represented my disability in a way that I was judged for it. My disability is always the first thing people notice about me. The cane was always the first thing people would look at when meeting me because it identified my disability. When I tried to talk to some of the girls there, they would look at the cane, make a face, look at me, and be cruel, saying rude things to me about my disability, like who would want to put up with me because I'm too much work, that I'd only be wanted if I was sighted. We could be friends if only I was sighted. Too bad I'm blind. When I realized that it was a pattern, I tried something. During meal times in the dining hall, I put away my cane and walked without it to get my food. I came close to bumping into people, hitting, and tripping over objects. I did this just as an experiment to see if anything would change. When I talked to some of the girls there, they were nice to me. Some of the girls even asked if I was new. When I put away the cane, they didn't see me for only my disability. During that experiment, my cane soon became my greatest insecurity. The rest of the time at camp continued to hit me. One of the other days there, we did a geocaching activity, a game where we hid geocaches and exchanged clues and the coordinates of each other's geocaches and had to find them using GPS. The activity was not accessible to me. I asked for help from different people who had already found theirs. They looked at the cane, then at me, and rudely refused to help me, with their reasoning being because you're blind. Because I'm blind is the exact reason why I'm asking for help. It was extremely frustrating. Eventually, someone did help me, and they found the geocache that was assigned to me. Instead of being excited about finding it, I was disappointed in my inability to find it on my own. After the activity, I waited until we got back to our rooms to go and process everything. I texted my friend I needed support, and not even 2 minutes passed before a group of my closest friends barged into the room. I explained my struggles while they comforted and supported me. Despite the support, I had the urge to give up and go home early. I took my time before making a final decision, and I realized something. If I went home, I would be giving power to those girls, allowing their actions and words to control me. So I decided to stay to the rest of camp. I decided to be resilient. I didn't let my cane be my biggest insecurity. No matter what cruel things those girls said to me now means nothing to me. Their opinion on something I cannot change should not make me feel like I would only be wanted if I was sighted. Instead of hiding my disability or feeling bad about my lack of vision, how I wish I was sighted, I understand that it is simply choice to feel that way. That camp experience last summer was what I needed to make me resilient. Embracing the resilience I gained from camp, I welcomed my guide dog Izzy into my life. Izzy has been trained at Guide Dogs for the Blind to help guide me safely through the complexities of pedestrian travel and finds objects such as stairs and doors. When I used a cane, I was relying on myself. Now that I have Izzy, I have to rely on her. For 2 weeks while I was at Guide Dogs for the Blind, I learned to put my trust in her and create a bond like no other I've ever experienced. Furthermore, the resilience I learned has helped me as I continue my academic journey. I am both a high school and college student. San Jose City College's role in my life has given me countless opportunities to showcase my resilience and my capabilities. San Jose City College has given me the tools I need to prove that I'm capable of being a successful student through their support for my needs as a blind individual. Part of my academic journey has involved raising awareness about how others can provide assistance, as I sometimes struggle in classes and need assistance. Here are a few important tips to keep in mind when interacting with visually impaired individuals to ensure proper communication and assistance. 1. Treat them as you would anyone else, with kindness and respect. They are a person who happens to be blind. Their blindness does not define them. 2. Ask before guiding someone. Don't pull or grab them. 3. Use specific directions like 5 feet to the left instead of vague terms. 4. Offer your arm or elbow if they need a guide. 5. It's fine to use words like see or watch. 6. When interacting with someone who has a guide dog, speak to the person, not the dog. And most importantly, ask the person how you can best assist them, as they may have specific preferences. Combining the lessons I learned from that experience at the STEM camp has also pushed me to be a resilient student. From last summer's experience at camp to receiving my guide dog Izzy, and from San Jose City College's role in my life, I have become resilient. Through that resilience, I have learned many things. But overall, it has led me to say this with my whole heart: I embrace being blind. Thank you.